Hey folks, Country Prepper here. So the video that you're about to watch is actually two different videos. I decided to just go ahead and put them together because they just kind of go hand in hand. I'm going to be doing another video in the very near future of how I set up my hammock for cold weather, and these are just two parts of that system that I wanted to go ahead and get videos out ahead of time. So the first part of the video is on this hammock, and the second part is on this sleeping bag. And all the links will be in the description box below, along with all the specs to them. So I've been supposed to do a review on this hammock for several months now. Sometimes you got to take your time and use the item several times, use the product several times, to be able to give a good, honest review on it. And so that is the case with this hammock. When I went out for the bug out shelter weekend, or the weekend at the bug out shelter, and so set it up, used it all weekend, went to shoot a video on it, and I had sun glares everywhere in the video, and it was just horrible. To make a long story short, I have taken this out and used it quite a few times over the summer and now into the fall a couple times, and I am pleased to say that I am very happy with this hammock. It is fairly inexpensive. It was under 30 bucks. Does have pretty good heavy-duty tree straps on it. Does come in its own stuff sack. The one complaint that I have is the stuff sack could be just a hair bigger. It does work. It just takes a little finesse to get it jammed down in there nice and tight so you can get the straps back in with it. So it does come with the straps, like I said, for under 30 bucks, so it's a really good budget option. Now I'm going to leave all the specs in the description box below, but just a couple quick things, important things that people want to know. This is rated for up to 400 pounds, and it is a double nest style hammock. So it's plenty big. So I'll go ahead and set it up and show you a little bit about it. So I just thought I'd show you the ends here where they are doubled up, and it's triple stitched through there, really heavy, and it's good thick nylon rope holding onto this carabiner where it hooks onto. To give you an idea of the length of the tree strap, I have a few extra knots there you can see, and you know, it's going around a pretty good sized tree, so definitely enough to hold my weight or even somebody a little heavier than me, and plenty of length of straps. So there it is, all set up. I'll go get in and show you how roomy it is. Well, you can definitely tell this thing is plenty big for me, but it's, you know, it is a double wide hammock, so there's plenty of room. Last time I slept in this, I was not sleeping very well. I was tossing and turning through the night, and I had no trouble sleeping on my sides or my back, of course, and it's just a really comfortable hammock. There's even enough room for Woodrow. Well, hopefully it's not too windy and screws up this video. As you can see, my hammock is kind of flying around in the wind right now. But GearBest sent me this sleeping bag to test out. And I'll be honest, I'm a little apprehensive about sleeping bags coming from overseas, especially China, just because of the measurements of it. Now, on the tag here, it says it is 214 by 100 centimeters. I have no idea what that is in inches, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and pull this out. I'm going to put it on while I'm standing up first, just to give you kind of a size reference, and then I'm going to lay down in the hammock because I think that is a good test for a sleeping bag. Is laying down in a hammock, you get your core temperature, you know, you get your heart rate down, your core temperature gets a little lower. It is about, I think last time I looked, the wind chill was just below 30 degrees, so it's pretty chilly out, and so I'm going to give this a test, see if it keeps me warm once I get settled down, get slowed down. I've been out hiking, so my core temperature's up pretty good right now. But anyhow, first impression on the outside of here, the stuff sack is actually pretty decently made. Has buckles all the way on four sides, so you can really cinch this thing down, although you know, if you cinch it down too hard, it's just going to kind of mushroom out and that kind of thing. But anyway, I'll get this opened up and see what it looks like on the inside. Alright, just to give you guys an idea of the size of this sleeping bag, it is touching the ground right now, and it is actually over my head. So it's plenty long, I will say that. And just judging, get a little closer here, by the width compared to my shoulders, it's plenty big. For a guy like me, over 250 pounds, you're going to be fine. So it has Velcro up at the top here to keep the zipper from coming undone. It is one of those like nylon or plasticky type of zippers on there, I will say that. Seems smooth though. Give you kind of a look at the inside of it here. It's actually a pretty heavy sleeping bag, I will say that. Alright, well, I'm back, guys, and I laid down in here and I dozed off. The only thing that woke me up was my dog coming over and jumping up against me and got me swinging in the hammock and woke me up. So I will say this, I'm nice and toasty warm. At about 30 degrees, I think you'd be just fine in this sleeping bag. If it was any cooler than that, or if the wind was blowing any harder than it already is, I would say use a bivy of some kind. The trifecta version 2 would be great for that. Actually, right now, I think if I put the trifecta on me, I think I'd be too warm. So you don't want to do that either, but I think you'd be nice and cozy. You'd be toasty warm. You'd almost probably start sweating, or at least I would. I'm a very hot-blooded person, though. So I'm always warmer than everybody else that I know. So anyhow, I think it does the trick, and that's about the best test I could possibly do. I do feel a slight bit of convection on my back, but you know, any sleeping bag is going to be that way because the fill gets compressed, and you're going to feel that convection basically no matter what. So the only thing to get rid of that is like an under quilt, or maybe wrapping a blanket of some kind underneath the hammock. So it was pretty easy to get back in the stuff sack. It didn't take any kind of like kung fu maneuvers to get it back in there. So just stuffed it in and cinched it down. Went back in pretty good. So obviously these are just my first impressions of this. I can't give it any kind of a longevity test right now or review right now because, you know, first time using it. So just my first impressions. For no more than it costs, it's a pretty good sleeping bag. Did keep me plenty warm, like I said, and you know, the zipper's okay in it. Nothing to write home about, but you know, it's a cheap sleeping bag. So if it's something, you know, like if you use a layering system like I do in my hammock, this would be great for that. I use, a lot of times I'll take my wool, one of my wool blankets, sleeping bag, and my trifecta, and then if, you know, depending on how warm or cold it is, I can layer and unzip things and, you know, just keep myself warm according to whatever the conditions are. So I will have to do an update on this after I've used it a few times and let you know how it's holding up. The only thing I'm really concerned about, honestly, is the zipper. It is a cotton polyfill, so it's one of those things where if you get it wet, you're kind of screwed. So I would definitely, like with the trifecta, why I recommend that is it's going to breathe. So you don't want that sweat to condense against you and get your sleeping bag wet too. So that's just kind of what I think about it right now. I'll leave links to it in the description box below if you want to go check it out. And that's about it for today. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.